Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? I want to do something a little bit different. So we're changing the scenery. We're getting out of the office, sitting in the backyard today. Beautiful spring day. Got the dog running around. You'll see her in the background. Um, but yeah, so today I wanted to discuss a question that I've been getting from a few different people, and that's about whether you should enlist or just go in as an officer off the street. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get to it. All right, so like I said, one of the questions I get is should I enlist as a way of getting into the squadron, meeting the people, creating a name for myself, so that when I get my degree or when I'm ready to become a pilot, I've already set myself up basically through 4 years of networking. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, and I don't want to tell you one way or the other. I'm just going to try to present the facts. And kind of the way that I see things. I do want to tell you that I was never enlisted. So I don't want to, I may say some things that aren't completely correct, but that's because I didn't enlist prior to becoming an officer. So you know a little bit about my story. I went to college. I joined the Guard a couple years after college, and with getting my pilot slot, I went straight to OTS, and that's how I became an officer. Now, there's going to be pros and cons to why you would select enlisting into the Air Force prior to becoming an officer. And with every great answer, it depends, right? So the number one is like maybe you can't afford your degree. So I'm going to enlist and I'm going to have them pay for it. And that's an excellent use of their money. Your minimum commitment as an enlisted member is going to be 4 years. And if you do enlist, I would highly suggest that you do something that's going to be within a flying squadron. So you need to be something like a load master at a heavy unit. Something where you can actually be actively flying, engaging in the crew concept, and then you already know a lot of the CRM type things that you've experienced as a loadmaster. It'll make it an easy transition when you go to become a pilot. So yeah, maybe you need to pay for school. Another benefit would be maybe you don't know what you want to do. So you want to enlist, you want to experience the military a little bit prior to really committing to the 10, 12 years that we've talked about in the previous videos. But again, I suggest that whatever you do enlist in, be mindful that the recruiter is going to push you towards slots that are going to be empty, not something that is going to be highly sought after. So, like I said, a loadmaster is going to be probably something that a lot of people want, but what they're going to want to put you in is maybe like a finance department, or be a liaison for somebody, put you in an office, maybe maintenance, something like that. And so I just challenge you to really push for what you want, and let the recruiter know, so that when you do go in as an enlisted member, you're doing something that is beneficial to your future, and something that you'll enjoy. Because otherwise, you're gonna hate your job. You're gonna get bitter at the Air Force. You'll quit after 4 years, and then you'll be like, screw this, I don't even want to be a pilot at all. So something to think about. So the one thing that I do want to caution people is something that I see on my side is the number of people that come in as enlisted members and then become officers is actually pretty small. And with the opportunity to get hired off the street into a pilot slot without having ever joined the military before, I believe that that's much more beneficial and better use of your time. If you have the means to go to college, if you have the means to get your private pilot's license, then I would not suggest enlisting prior to becoming an officer. You can get all that stuff done. You can get scholarships for that. You can get grants from the government, ways to help you pay for that, even without joining the military and using your VA benefits. But what you can do is set yourself up, bypass that 4-year commitment that you're going to have as an enlisted member, because you're still going to have to go to school. You're still going to have to get that degree. And then as an enlisted member, you're also going to have a full-time job. You're going to be deployable. You'll be deployable even as a Guard and Reserve enlisted member. So a lot of other things that are biting for your time. So if you want to be a pilot, you could focus a lot more of your energy during those 4 years to get yourself in a better position so that when you do have that degree, that private pilot's license, that you can go ahead and apply to those units and you'll be much more competitive at that time. So when the applications come up, do people favor people that are enlisted versus people who are off the street? I don't think so. I mean, I think that there's a certain understanding of the product you're getting for somebody who's already in the military. However, the numbers are the same. You still have to score high. You still have to do well in all the tests. You have to be personable. The squadron has to like you. You have to like the squadron. All those things still apply, and that's true whether you were prior enlisted or not. So those are just a couple of the high points that I wanted to talk about. I know that it's a very long discussion, but again, people were asking the question, and I wanted to give a little bit more in-depth answer than just typing it out or sending an email. So if you guys have questions, I know that you will, please continue to email me. I'll get to them as fast as I can.